National Working Committee has criticized INEC for recognizing the Nyesom Wike-Backed caretaker committee. While it described the move as unconstitutional and provocative, the Turaki-led NWC, in a statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Nyesom Wike, warned that it would pursue all available legal options to challenge the Commission's action. Last Friday, a federal high court sitting in Ibadan nullified the PDP National Convention held on November the 15th, 2025, and directed Tanimu, Turaki, and several others to cease parading themselves as national officers of the party. Right, for some perspective, we have the former National Legal Advisor of the PDP, Mark Jacob, join us now. Thank you for giving us your time. Just last month, INEC rejected a request to recognize the Turaki-led NWC, and they cited multiple subsisting court orders. And we also know our Federal High Court nullified the party's national convention held on November 15, 2025. So I'm not really sure why there's some surprise at the absence of the faction that held that convention. Could you perhaps enlighten us? I think your device is muted, sir. If you could check that quickly.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Go ahead. We can hear you now.
Yeah, I just did. Now, let me say that the INEC is confronted with several orders. And I'm not surprised that the INEC chairman is torn in between, doing what is right and doing what the courts say. Everybody in this country or in this environment knows that there is just a handful of people that are standing up in Abuja to say they are leaders of the PDP. Meanwhile, they have no branch anywhere. Out of the 36 chairmen of the PDP, 32 are with Tanimu Turaki. Out of all the BOT members, over 90% are with Turaki. NEC members of the party are all with Turaki. So I don't really see how anybody standing up in Abuja with no branch anywhere will be recognized by INEC. But I also know that there was a high court order that said you should not recognize the convention of Ibadan. There is also a high court order from Ibadan, federal high court order that is saying something about that. So it is possible that the INEC chairman, being a lawyer of high repute for that matter, would just like to play safe. Since there is a court order from the Federal High Court in Ibadan that said he should recognize this, he's obeying it. And I personally don't feel aggrieved.
So
the truth and the real thing.
So now we have this statement from Nyesom Wike, I think the National Publicity Secretary of the Turaki-led faction. And the statement argues that INEC should have taken notice of pendency of the matters in the Court of Appeal, including what it described the judgment which they are relying upon to allow the Wike-led party. Will it, I mean, how are we sure that the court will decide in their favor? Also, is INEC so irresponsible as to blatantly disregard a clear court ruling in this matter? It's kind of confusing, really.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that the INEC national chairman is a lawyer. And I will not be surprised.
Yes, no, I'm actually referencing the statement that was issued. I'm actually referencing the statement that was issued saying that when the matter that they are relying on, when it is conclusively dealt with, it will effectively, it will effectively affect the subject under consideration, which is who is the lawful NWC of the PDP. So I'm like, where are they getting this impression from? Can they decide the decision of the court prior to the decision being made?
Well, the truth is that people are at liberty to make permutations and projections based on existing precedents from the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal. There is no difficulty in assessing what a court will say if we look at the precedents. And like everybody knows, the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal have always said that the issues of leadership of political parties or social clubs are not justiciable. All those things are within the home and internal management of the political parties and social clubs. And the courts have so many other things to take care of. They don't have time for all these politics that we are engaged in. And many courts have said that nobody should bring those mundane issues of membership of political party or leadership of political party to the court. Now, when you juxtapose that with what has happened at the lower courts, you'll be wondering, is it that the high courts are not aware of these existing rulings of the superior courts, or is it that there is an attempt to appeal the decisions of the Supreme Court at the high court level, which will be an aberration? But as a lawyer, we cannot also speculate. I will not do the work of the Supreme Court. I'm not qualified to even say this.
Yeah, exactly my concern as well. But let's look at this last part quickly. Both factions of the PDP are sounding strong and bold and confident that they will be the faction that will lead the PDP in the 2027 general elections. But for someone who has advised the PDP for a while, what is your thought about the possibility of PDP getting its acts together in good time to be a real competition in 2027?
The truth is that with the PDP is a different political party from those parties that are just doing registration today. PDP did its registration and mobilization of membership maybe 12 years ago. So those who are new, who are trying to now get members, are the ones doing membership registration online or what. We have done that a long time ago. That's why you go to any local government, any ward, you will find a PDP office and you find physical members of the PDP. Unlike some political parties that we know, they are only existing in Abuja, they are only existing in the state capitals.
But irrespective of its spread,
now,
I'm sorry to interject, irrespective of the PDP's spread, this factionalization of the party has dragged on for, you know, an unreasonable amount of time. And it is pushing people to say they may no longer be the strongest opposition ahead of 2027, and other coalitions are getting some attention. So I'm asking, from your perspective, I mean, you have been with this group. Yes. So I'm asking the possibility of them getting all of this sorted.
No, those are political matters. And that is why we are not happy that the courts are getting involved. Political issues are supposed to be resolved politically. And you will find out that if not for the intervention of our courts in things that are purely internal, these issues would have been resolved a year ago. But you see, we have a set of people that have found it easy to coerce or cajole and get the courts, the judiciary, involved in things that do not concern them, regarding and disregarding the very clear instructions of the superior courts that, look, these issues of membership, issues of leadership of political parties are not justiciable and they should not be heard. We have seen how other people, other political parties have suffered. All these issues, ABGA, Labour Party, even the APC have suffered them. They will go up to the Supreme Court and the decision will be the same, that they ought not to have heard the matter in the first place. But you see, like I said, people go to seek legitimacy through the courts, which is wrong. The issues of political parties are supposed to be resolved through the internal mechanisms of the party. Today, if I may tell you, that the High Court in Ibadan that gave judgment against the PDP has not yet released the record of proceedings. And everybody is wondering, why keep the record? Why not release it to those who have applied to appeal your judgment? Why are you keeping it?
I guess
and these are the issues we raise to say that there are interferences from the courts on issues that are strictly not justiciable. And they are not to
be fair to the courts, they wouldn't be involved if the party itself does not pull them in. Who knows? Let's see what happens in the coming days.
That's why the Supreme Court. That's why the Supreme Court has always said that the judge is a master of his court, and he has the prerogative of saying, "Look, this thing, my senior brothers in the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal have said that I am not supposed to listen to this, and that is it. Take it away." But you find situations where judges at the lower court get interested and continue to hear these matters. Only for us, when you get to the Court of Appeal or to the Supreme Court, the decision remains the same. The consistency is very clear.
All right, Jacob, I'm so sorry. We have to pause this conversation now. Thank you so much for speaking with us.